Alright, so I'm trying to document a little bit the recording of the new work that I'm doing for ATHAK. So as I said last time, I was starting to record Rouge. The concept of the album came from basically my painting work, where I'm working on trying to decompose and simplify and work from basic, and very often I'll work with the primary colors instead of working with the full palette. I'll just do pure red, pure blue, pure yellow, and for some reason that's just what came to my mind. I had the sound Rouge coming up, and I had like a guitar chord and tone and sound in my head, and it became like just an obvious thing that it was going to be the three primary colors and there were going to be three movements. So I recorded most of the music for Rouge. What you hear behind in the background is the very early stage of Blue. At the moment I have piano and a drum. I'm going to do a couple of bass riffs on the beginning. I have Rouge at the moment. The composition is about 18 minutes. This one I have a full piano improv that's probably 10-15 minutes long. And yeah, so let's turn around. Alright, so here we go. The piano I'm using, it's Grand Rhapsody from Wave Audio, which is just an amazing VST piano. I'm playing on my Innovation as I showed before, and the drum, as I've always done, I'm recording a Superior drummer. This is the same kit that I've had since the first ATHAK album. I'm correcting myself, the first one with the New York set of Superior Drummer 2, and there is actually Envy is recorded with the New York as well, I believe. And I will usually play the drum on my Roland and play on there. There is a lot of free writing. I am not an amazing musician, so usually I will lay the basic track, the basic idea that I have with both the keyboards and the drum when it's a situation like now, and then I will go back into each little section and just rework basically from the MIDI. So for me the main thing about playing it's the velocity and lack of precision, if I may say. Like, you know, the clicks, the beats are not going to be perfect as it is when you play the drum, and so I will or not quantize some of the results. But so at the moment I have those, and I just have the basic piano and starting to record the drum. You can see I've recorded about, what is that, 6 minutes something of drums, and I recorded the piano. It's a 17 minutes recording. The way I work with ATHAK has pretty much always been the same. I will basically have like an audio vision in my head that comes, and then it will be whether a keyboard part or a bass line or a drum beat or a guitar or a melody. I'll just pick up whatever instrument and usually start playing it and just keep on playing, and usually that's the track that I keep for the song. So for Primaries, most of the songs are made like that. It's basically one instrument improvisation from an inception, so a bass line, a melody, a tone. Rouge was just the tone, the guitar tone. Like the way Rouge started was, I wanted my first pedal, which is, I wanted the sound of the Lizard Queen, Electro Harmonix Lizard, and I wanted to have it through my lag, which is very dark. My Roxanne, it's a very dark sounding guitar with an octave down, and some kind of a big hole, big concert reverb on it. So that's the sound I had in mind, and I just set it up on my guitar board and started recording. For Blue, it was a piano loop, and I started playing the piano loop, and I just kept on playing, and I played for about 17 minutes. And so that's the track, and that's going to be what everything in the song is going to be based on. The concept for those primary is the feeling that colors bring into one's mind. So you'll always hear when you talk about painters, oh, they had their blue period, they had their pink period. There is a lot that is evoked from a color, and so what is it going to be is, I'll show you the artwork. Probably will be blue, red, and yellow. The order might change, but I think that's what I'm set on at the moment. And blue is like an exploration, a discovery. It's going to have quite a bit of melancholy and softness to it, and the way that movement plays is that it starts very, very, very softly. If we go back to playing the beginning, the piano is muted. Let's see if we can hear something. It's just like a very muted march that builds up into a melody. My idea is really ships at sea, going on an exploration, going on a journey. And so through that journey, there are some big ups and downs. There are some very dangerous moments, some very scary moments, but it's all kind of on the same pace, the pace of a march, and then the pace of waves coming and going. Rouge is very, very dark. It's very moody, and it's fairly slow, and it's more of like a very slow burning inferno that that can't really be stopped. That just once it's started, it just keeps on going. And yellow is going to be much more of a phoenix, like a revival, a very peppy, victorious, and probably very classical sounding piece in the end. Let me show you the artwork. Okay, so working on the artwork, very, very, very often the artwork will be prior to the sounds when working on ATHAK. That was an original drawing to start with, which is very, very 90s style. It's basically started with this sketch that I did, yellow, red, and black, and sliced. Originally, that was the order I had in my mind for the primaries. Then there's a very geometrical square that is turned 90 degrees, and the primaries here. So I had that first, and then I thought I want to have acrylic. I want to have real paint strokes on it. So I reworked it. At the same time, I was changing my mind about the order of the colors and the movement. And so I came up with this one, which is 3 stripes with the blue, the red, and the yellow, made out of paint. The ATHAK icon is made out of like overing black acrylic paint, and I still like this one. I think it has its place somewhere, but it just didn't convey anything else but the primary colors. And so me being an absolute nut of Gustave Doré and old etching, which I have in tattoos and in drawings and in a lot of my artworks. And I decided to go that direction, and so that's at the moment is the artwork that I have for Primaries, which is going to be most likely the name. I'm still thinking between Primaries and Primaires in French. I don't know which one I'm going to use, the English version or the French version. And so here you have, in the blue movement, Journey at Sea. In the red movement, you really have like a macabre, everything's going down. And in the yellow movement, it is like a very glorious descent into the abyss, but it's going to be like a victorious feeling to it. Let me play you a little bit of Rouge. Rouge at the moment has 2 guitar tracks. Very few parts of the song actually have 2 guitars, but there are a few parts where it was required. I usually don't do more than 1 guitar, 1 track for everything. Bass line is in brown. If you can see the colors, I'm not sure, it seems very bright on the screen. Alright, that's better. The drum, and then I have 3 keyboards. I have 2 Miniverse just because I have 2 set up. The Miniverse is a plugin that's basically a Moog. I have my Electric 88S, which is a Rhodes, and then the grand piano that comes in the end. So let's just show you the first riff, which is basically the inception of the song, the tone that I had in mind that started this whole piece. So let's hear what it sounds like. If you're familiar with the soundtrack from Air of Virgin Suicide, that riff that has 2 change of keys in it, for some reason really reminds me of it. It's not at all the same key or the same arrangement or anything. And then the main riff comes. So that's what I have. I'm not going to play you the full 18 minutes. This one is going to be, Rouge is going to be really filled with a lot of vocals. I have in my head already a lot of like big operatic, multiple male-female voices on it. So that's the next thing I need to get recording for it. But I had the inspiration for Blue, I had to record it. So right now I'm reworking, I'm stopped working on Rouge and I'm working on Blue. So here you go, that's a little bit of what I have. I really must confess, I'm an absolute horrible social media person and an handicap level introvert. So it's really hard for me to put the camera on, to recording and playing and going through it. I'm going to try to do a little bit more of it. Now I'm just trying to force myself to pick up the camera and record a little bit right now, which I've done for the past few days, film a little bit while I get comfortable with it. I'll try to put a stand on and just let the camera roll and just play along, record, and then do a montage of all of this. But so here you go, this is where I am right now, which we are the 31st of March on the recording of Primaries for ATHAK. Alright, we'll be back with more.